Welcome back to Talking Chaos, where today we're going to talk about sex.
Sweet. I think we've all had that, right?
Calm down, you two.
All right, and joining us today is my wife, Ursula. Right? That's where we're...
I mean, it's fairly accurate. I'm going to be real with you.
You talking about the bad guy from Mermaid?
Yes.
She's complicated. I wouldn't say she's the bad guy.
Yeah, so Ursula it is. Yeah.
I'm
somehow,
sorry, Mr. Prophylactic what?
Somehow I'm really like digging the name Ursula
Calm
for you.
down.
That's perfectly okay. So we've all had sex, right? Some of us. Hopefully those listening have.
In some way or another. I mean, provided you're over 18, we appreciate that you have sex at some point in your life.
I mean, I think it's a good choice. I think it's a wise choice. Some people don't make that choice. That's fine for them.
That's true. And I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
I can't tell if you guys are talking about people who have been unable to get laid yet or have been stripped of their right to make the choice, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's asexuals that are by choice, and then there's...
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
There's a whole group of people that are really upset where they're like involuntary celibates. I don't know what that's about.
Are you that kind of person, Condor?
I'm on the cusp of it. I think you guys should keep an eye on the local malls. That's all I'm saying.
With that pedo stash you got going there.
Yeah, well.
It's definitely attractive to...
Someone?
Maybe, someone special.
So what do we have to add about like the sex talk? We're gonna okay. I didn't really get a sex talk in all reality.
I did not get a sex talk.
I think the first time
Really? No one? No, just me? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, then you've been provided the sex talk.
Well, hold up for a second, because I really want to tell you about the first time anybody ever told me about sex. That's not the same as a sex talk. I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And one of my friends told me that if somebody kissed your pee-pee, they would get pregnant. I thought that you'd get a kick out of that. Go ahead with your tale of being educated in a conventional sense.
I definitely wouldn't say it was conventional. So, like, my parents are pretty religious, like militant. So I'm kind of in shock right now. Like, I am shooketh that none of you this conversation. I think I was like 7 or 8 when they started.
What?
No, calm down. All right, and they were starting to explain like, hey, your body's gonna change and things like that. It was not until I was a little bit older that my mom was listening to one of those talk radios. I think it was Dr. Laura. You ever heard of that crazy?
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, she was going on and on. I'm pretty sure it was like, who was president? Probably Clinton at the time.
That would have to make sense. Yeah.
About saying something about like sexual intercourse and blah, blah, blah is when a penis goes in a vagina. And my mom lost her religious mind. She's like, oh my, and like turned the radio off in our big crazy van. You know those big vans that had like the 7-seaters that like when you go over a bump, everybody like flies in the air. It was one of those cruisers.
You had a roller coaster van?
Oh, yeah. I just remember pulling over to the side of the road, and that's like when it happened. And she had to explain what I just heard. And yeah, it was pretty interesting.
So we have Monica Lewinsky to blame for your education about
or
sex.
to thank, I don't know.
Fred's thanking her. That's all I'm saying.
Relations with that woman.
Dude, that's
very abrupt.
I remember hearing about that and thinking she must have kissed his pee-pee. Turns out she did.
So, whereas my sexual education was between school, which was literally, as Condor and Rhodes have very much pointed out, was very lacking. And then like my parents provided me with books. Like, yes, exactly.
So instead of speaking words to you, they were like, "Here, read this."
All I just visualize of them like literally physically throwing a book in your face. One with like a big dick on it.
Your dad just comes in and tosses it at you. Get good, son. Walks
Like
out.
a boy version of, hey God, it's me, Margaret.
But what's weird is like I was maybe like 10, 11, maybe 12 at this time. And my parents gave this to me as like a Christmas present. Like, like it was, I can't remember if it was birthday or Christmas or Easter or some shit like that. Like
Jesus came back this year, Fred. Go get laid.
Jesus came back this year. Here's how fucking sex works. And they just gave me this book of like, your body's changing and this is what puberty's like. And like, it was like very in detail, but it was like both male and female. And it was like, it was weird as fuck because it was like,
how do males get pregnant then, Fred?
Well,
This is a confusing piece of literature.
I actually know where the clitoris is and can say that.
Was there a map in there? Or?
There was. It's a little man in a boat.
First you found Jesus, now you need to find the magic button.
That's really funny. Jesus flicked a bean for you. Now you can do it too.
I mean, it wasn't. Well, what's funny is it wasn't a religious book. I mean,
Thank God.
That's surprising.
What would that have been like?
That would be.
No. So my mother.
Don't do it. End of book.
Wait till marriage, you fuck. But so my mother was very religious. My father was not. But this was more of a scientific type book. If I guess. I mean, I could literally probably go back to my parents' house and find this book.
I'm visualizing the most scientific way to have sex right now.
But it was like,
Margaret, I would like to stick my penis in your vagina.
No, he's immediately English.
Right. I mean, I get that your mustache is old-timey as fuck, but really.
I'll be honest with you. When I think science, I just think British people and like, just because they're all uppity. I don't know.
British people in bow ties.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I judge.
Figures and shit. There's got to be some scientist somewhere who shoved a dick up his ass. Like, that's got to have been a thing.
This book talked about like how there's different stages of puberty and like how boys develop at different ages and everything like that. And then it went on to the female genitalia and how there's the like for like I can literally like say this now, but like for the clitoris, there's the man in the boat. You need to find him.
What?
I mean, hey. You're not complaining now, are you?
He made his ship to shore call. Is all I'm saying.
I did have liberty.
But how did there was a man in a boat? I'm still.
That's what it's explained about. Like that's literally how the wording. I can literally
go fishing. What was happening?
I think he's trying to say that the man is the bean, and the like. The hood, I guess, is what it would be the boat.
Yeah, the whole like the outer labia and whatnot was the boat.
The look on Rhodes' face. I wish I could get it to the audience right now, but I can't. I'm not aware of how to do that.
Astonishment and shock would be the best. Like a little bit of intrigue would be the best way.
I feel like she's looking at you two like y'all needed a book.
Well, and she also looks like she's never wanted to go fishing more in her life than right now.
Right? The deep part of that.
Yeah.
We haven't reached that part of that episode yet. We might want to actually briefly touch it.
Why you always want to touch it, but why are you English?
Suddenly English.
No.
Well, you should get a bow tie,
and
then you could be a scientist, according to Connor.
Rhodes, what was your experience? You're making a lot of faces that I need words with them.
Well,
the audience needs words more than faces.
Hey, my faces do it for a lot of people. Let me just tell you.
I'm glad that we're keeping it from the audience as long as possible. Yeah.
So now my sister is actually 16 years older than me and had a kid a year after I was born, and then had 2 more kids before she was 21. So like my whole thing with sex was don't do it. Like that was
Everyone else's.
All these other things show up, and it doesn't look fun at all.
like my
You should
mom.
not try this.
Yeah, like that was just always because my brother is like I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of them all. So like they had all had their own relationships when I was very young that were obviously very adult relationships.
A lot of pee-pee kisses.
A lot of pee-pee kisses.
I'd also like to add it for clarification that your family was Catholic, and that may add some influence to this.
I mean, yeah, they had all had a lot of kids.
Baby pumping went happening down, and
There's so many kids. There's just so people. Just my family reproduces too well. So yeah. So my sister has 4 children, and my brother has a couple. But anyway, that was all it was really told to me was don't do it, and I really didn't understand what I wasn't supposed to do. And I remember in 3rd grade doing one of those, those paper things where you press like boy or girl, like, and like it's a folded up piece of paper. You're like,
yeah,
like,
they
yeah,
determined our futures. Frankly, I'm disappointed I'm not in a mansion.
Right. How many times did I figure out mansion was the perfect, So I did one, and like with the boys in our class, it was in 3rd grade, and the girls in our class, and it was like where you're gonna do it, like was like where the list was, and some girl remember. Yeah, exactly. We were in 3rd grade. Yeah, but my brothers are older. My brother's older, so like this is something I had learned from my brother. Like, so I had no like a clue what I was actually like talking about with these things, but I'm like, so here I am, like this bad influence, all these other 3rd graders talking about doing it. Like, and so one of them told on me because I changed the people around because she kept choosing the same kid over and over again. Like, you're gonna kiss, or I think it was like kiss like this person in bed, or you're gonna do it with this person in the closet. And she kept choosing do it with the same kid. So I switched all the numbers up. And she got mad at me because she got somebody else. So she turned me into the teacher. And like, I had no idea about what sex really was though, until our like shitty ass, like fucking sex education in middle school. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I didn't really.
To be fair, our government funded sex education was abstinence only. I'd like to caveat that now. Whereas Ursula's was not.
Part of it was, but then the other, like, I went to 2 different schools. Like, I switched it up halfway through, and so one of them. Yes, we'll talk about it later. But part of it was not abstinence only, and then the other school I went to as I got older was. I was actually a TA in the health class, so the teacher like couldn't tell the kids like information about like birth control or anything like that. But I was the TA, and I was technically allowed to answer their questions. So one day he had me, like he was off making copies, and I was answering questions because I was, 17, 18 at the time. So telling these little freshmen where to get their prophylactics.
Where do you get those?
The health department.
What's that?
You've never been to the health department,
man.
Right? Like you haven't been to the health department or Planned Parenthood where you can they
shut down our Planned Parenthood.
They did shut down our Planned Parenthood. Yeah.
Damn.
They shut it down. There used to be protests and shit.
I have actually been to the Planned Parenthood where y'all are from.
I have too.
I've been.
I just have to make jokes about like what's health.
And have literally like they have you like sign a little thing of like, hey, we just want to make sure who's like getting these, and like literally like gotten free condoms from the Planned Parenthood at the local clinic where y'all are at.
They were lifestyles.
I made it rain.
They were.
Hashtag lifestyles. All the different colors. Please give my friends some advertising on their podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lifestyle condoms. Yep. Free at Planned Parenthood.
Yep. It's pretty killer. You just you have to go to different places now in town to get those if you want them.
I mean, health department will provide them for you.
Yes.
Give you a big old bag of them.
It's not suspicious at all.
I will say that one time I went, and I don't know if I should take this as a compliment or not, frankly, but I was a little like off put by the whole thing. I went to the health department in a major city that I was living at the time. You guys may know where I'm talking about. It was on the west side of the state. Yep. So I went there and I asked if I could get a bag. I said the words "a bag of condoms," a bag. She handed me 2 of them, and I'm like, damn, you either think I'm going to just get down to business, or you never want to see me in here ever again.
That bitch was stingy as fuck.
Right, like, I'm like, I don't know what to think about this. I said a bag. Maybe she doesn't know how to count. Maybe she's just like, if it were me, I'd want all this sex.
That or look, you a fugly motherfucker. Let's give you like 2 because that's all you're gonna fucking get.
Right. This is like 2 years supply for you, I imagine. I'll see you back here in 2020.
Look, these are gonna hit expiration before you actually use them.
Jesus. If I have somebody tell me the expiration date of a condom while they're handing it to me, I am not going to feel good. That is not going to instill A-game material for me. Hey, this expires in a couple years. Make sure you, like, try to use it before, like, be nice if you, like, really tried.
This one expired, like, a couple months ago.
As Rhodes holds one in her hands.
Yes.
Not entirely sure. Well, you know what? I don't want to know why you would need all those. Jesus!
We haven't brought this up yet. So, Rhodes, would you like to explain your...
You don't have to.
Rubbers?
Yeah.
It's full of rubbers.
Frankly, like we can hear them. Like that's.
Right. She's like shuffling cards over there.
I'll say your affinity, but I mean, really, it's a fistful of condoms.
Are you a collector? Do you like what's?
I'm an avid condom collector, Connor. Actually, my oldest condom dates back to
I give you an 84 Trojan for a 92 lifestyle.
He was in the first fucking commercial.
Yeah.
In the background.
Right. The structural integrity after 92 really decreased. But before that, they were thicker. You can feel less.
That's the whole point anyway, right?
Yeah, isn't it? Swear to God, audience, use condoms. That's all we're saying.
Yes, please do use condoms. Yes.
We really don't need any more people out there thinking that chemtrails and fucking flat Earth is a reality. So just put your raincoat on. Yup.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah, besides, like,
if I remember correctly,
the chemtrails will penetrate if you don't have the raincoat on.
If I remember correctly, Rhodes, in your dorm room in college, you had the list of all the different phrases of, like, wrap it before you tap it, like, all that shit.
You had a poster of ways to
yes.
of like the types of ways to wear a condom. That's basically what we're talking about, right? Or the phrases to describe wearing a condom. Yeah.
Correct. That poster is actually in my basement in a poster tube. I actually have every poster that I've ever had. And that's just a little hoarding fact that we can avoid talking about.
Cool. Nice that you let your neuroses slip for the sake of the audience. We appreciate that.
Hey, yeah, no problem. And just for you guys. Doing it for you. Support. But I actually had no, like, gay education, like, whatsoever. And when I had my first my first lesbian experience.
Yeah, talk more about that.
Whips his dick out.
Right. Like,
taking nice long drags of this cigarette is all. Go ahead with your
talk slowly. I'm going to remember this later. I'm going to listen to it later. I'm sure you're gonna edit this part over and over again.
It'd be like a VHS tape. Like the playback will be worn out for the audience.
Anywho, Rhodes, you were saying.
I was actually in my dorm room freshman year of college. Now, I felt like all my friends were having sex way before that. Like, even when we were in middle school, I felt like our sex talk was a little too late because we had friends that were doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I totally relate to that. I had friends that were very much open about the fact that they were getting laid, and I was like, dude, I'm terrified to get a blowjob. Like, is on. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking.
Right. So I mean, the fact that I waited that long, I give myself
kudos to you. That's not very many people do that, to be honest. I lost my virginity when I was like 17, in between junior and senior year.
Yeah, and I was 18. Yes, dear. Let's.
What's up with the faces, Ursula?
I was 14, so
she was one of them.
Awesome.
I mean, hey.
So it pays to learn, is what we're saying to the public. On the education of these individuals.
I mean, like, I was so terrified to even think about having sex that, like, I really absolutely refused to. And I remember the first time I got dared to kiss a girl, I like full on like absolutely refused. Fred, I don't know if you were there.
Did you get a erection?
I could not fucking do it. Like, I was so like, it had such bad like internalized homophobia that like,
I kissed a guy unusually quickly.
Well, again, she also grew up as a cat, your mom's not necessarily militant religious.
It's a semi-Catholic environment.
Yeah.
I mean, she's one of 11 children.
Yeah, very much had the homophobic vibe coming from your parental group.
Dude, from the town we grew up in, it's got nothing to do with her fucking particular familial group. This entire area is a little oppressive when it comes to that.
A little.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. It is my hometown. It's odd to
Connor, if only you'd been there the day that Rhodes and I walked into, was it the Walmart? Skipping along and holding hands.
I would have joined in. I would have joined in like in a heartbeat.
Skipping around like a little mocha latte. Yes, I was.
The condor would have flew high.
Down with the swirl.
Hell yeah.
So angry.
Mm-hmm.
No,
as I was walking behind them going, oh, fuck.
I've kissed a dude.
Did you like it?
No, it was definitely a dare. And this happened in it sounds like such a frat boy move now that I'm thinking about it. But it was me and a guy friend. We were in the basement of a girl's house with a couple of other friends of ours that happen to be girls. And we were like, we'll kiss if you guys kiss. Totally true story. They did not kiss long enough. I call bullshit. I feel like I kissed a man for too long.
Well, good for you, Condor.
Was I there? Wait.
No, you were not there.
Okay.
There may have been more than one moment I've kissed a man. I can't remember.
I've been there for a lot of man-on-man kisses. I've been on there for a lot of first man-on-man kisses.
And one of those would have, I guarantee you, been mine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Was he still as awkward then as he is now?
He was even more awkward then. Like, let's see.
I imagine.
I was taller than him. You remember? You know that, right? Have you seen the pictures? Like,
there was a time where Rhodes was taller than me. I mean, granted, it was like seventh fucking grade.
We went to seventh grade grad dance together, and we got professional photos done. And I'm like significantly taller than him.
We were all awkward, more awkward back then, and so it's astounding to me that people had enough swagger to get laid in the 7th grade.
Yeah, like, I wasn't one of those people.
I thought for sure that swagger was a disease until I was like 19, 20 years old. Like, I'd see people with like the strut, on the street, And I'd be like, what's that? And somebody'd be like, that's swagger. And I'm like, can we turn around? I don't want to catch swagger.
I don't want any part of this.
I don't need swagger in my life. I haven't been vaccinated for swagger.
Vaccinate your children, please.
So they don't catch swagger.
There was a girl when we were in 6th grade that got pregnant or found out she was pregnant in the summer between 6th grade and 7th grade. And I remember her not showing up to the first couple classes of 7th grade. And she was in my Girl Scout troop. So I was kind of like, oh, did she leave? Did she move? And my Girl Scout leader had a hard time telling us what had happened to her, and avoided the conversation. Well, anyway,
did you end up finding her later on in like
a Google or a Yahoo chat. I found her in a Yahoo chat later on, and she actually had she had a baby. She had gotten pregnant between 6th and 7th grade and had a baby, and that's why she had moved town and stuff. And I remember when she told me, I signed out. I couldn't even say anything. I didn't understand. I had
you fucking internet ghosted her over a baby. Even yours.
Hey man, it was 2001. I was not I was 12 years old. I could not handle one of my friends that I had known since I was a kid.
What? You had a baby? Bitch, I'm out of here. Fucking.
Yeah. I just didn't know what to say. Yeah. I feel really bad about that.
The only time that I've ended a conversation that quickly on the internet is when I got off before they did. And I'm like, all right, time to leave.
Condor and his Tinder date.
No, dude, Omegle was a thick thing in the day. I'm just saying, bro. More 40-year-old ladies have seen me naked than people my own age. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
I
had a thing for cougars when I was young. Yup.
No, wow. I definitely I don't know. I was such an awkward teenager though. With my mom being don't have sex. I was so scared to have sex myself that I couldn't even think about myself having sex.
I'm gonna share something that I shouldn't.
Oh my God.
Well, this is where it's for.
The first time that I was ever given the first time somebody ever attempted to fillet me, I didn't know what to do. I would not get aroused.
Ooh.
And so this was wet noodle situation. I was I'm just going to go home. And I never hung out with her again. Obviously things changed. I got used to it. It's been a much more enjoyable experience as an adult.
You left some poor girl while she was playing pool with a rope.
Just ran away. Scampered off.
I don't know what that was about. She wanted that way more than I did. And I was like, I'm 14. I'm just going to go home. I don't really like this. I was cool with making out and touching your boobs, but you took my pants off and now I'm scared.
So what you're saying is you couldn't even get an erection.
No, dude. No.
He also didn't shit his pants.
No fucking A, right? I'm thinking the same thing. Maybe I would have gotten an erection afterwards. I don't know. I don't know if I would have been ooh, the smell. Ooh, no, that's how weird shit happens to teenagers, right? Suddenly you're in this German Scheiße videos and you're 29 and you're alone. None of this is relatable. I'm just saying. Yeah, my loneliness is awesome.
All alone.
So do we have anything else to add on sex ed?
Sex ed?
When do you think the talk should be happening? 10 years old?
It should be I don't know. I don't have children, so I don't even know if I should contribute to the conversation.
I mean, I think it's more when you feel they're ready. Or
Or when Monica Lewinsky comes on the radio and makes it so that your parents have to tell you. Whichever one comes first.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you guys use the anatomically correct terms with your kids? Or...
Oh, absolutely, yes.
About what?
As a parent, yes, absolutely. Like my child,
mine's 3 and she loves planets, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So as a male parent, I will go and when I take a shower, I tend to take our laundry room is very separate from our shower area, and so I'll tend to I'll disrobe or get naked, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You don't bathe with your clothes on?
I don't pull. I'm not you. I don't pull my fucking gym shorts on or swimsuit to fucking clean my ass.
I don't ever let anyone, even God, see me naked.
But
you're never nude, like the Sim never.
Ursula's face is so filled with confusion. It's so beautiful. Oh, I wish the audience could see stuff.
But so
blind.
I literally get naked in my house, in the laundry room, and then go up to.
Again, so glad that you're not getting naked in other people's houses.
True. Too true.
Better be naked indoors than outdoors.
Right? No shit. Yeah,
people's houses. Yes. Jesus, fuck you guys are sick motherfuckers. But
come on.
I get naked in my own goddamn house. And I go to my own goddamn shower.
Sweet.
But between the laundry room and the fucking shower is a child that will be like, "Hey, look, it's Dad's penis," or "Dad, your butt cheeks are big."
Those are real things that have been said, haven't they?
Dad, you got a big booty. That's
a real thing to say.
Literally has happened.
I'm picturing a warlock with the nicest badonkadonk that I can picture, and it's a beautiful sight. Gandalf would have looked way better with a nice ass. Just saying. Sir Ian McKellen was a poor choice in that regard.
You could tell what Gandalf's ass looked like through all those robes. I mean...
Hey,
he's making assumptions now.
If that's what the Condor wants to think about, that's what the Condor wants to think about.
I'm just saying that he's making assumptions.
I just know that in order for Gandalf the Grey to turn into Gandalf the White, he had to take the robes off, and for a second he was a naked Gandalf.
Maybe he just washed the gray robes.
With Clorox? Like a full box of Clorox?
Like some fucking bleach or
just Oscar the fuck out of that? Just whitewash the shit out of it? Just sprayed a bunch of Leonardo DiCaprio all over his robes. Yeah, so this has been our episode on sex education, and we really appreciate you guys taking a listen today. If you support this podcast, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/talkingchaos. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.